Good evening. When I was 16 years old, I got to go to a youth training program for Unitarian Universalists called Goldmine Youth Leadership School. A group of us 16-year-olds spent an intensive week together, everything from learning facilitation, worship planning, long hours developing our own personal theology. We shared with one another, building an intense and intentional loving community. It was an amazing week. During that week, we made many friendship bracelets, which in hippie-loving youth camp culture are as valuable a currency as gold. And they had a dual function of keeping our hands busy during long and boring trainings. Throughout the week, a friend of mine was weaving an exceptionally long friendship bracelet, much longer than the standard. And we kept asking him, "This is getting longer and longer. When are you going to cut it off?" "When it's right," he answered. At the end of the week, we had a final ritual. We were standing in a circle, holding hands. We loved each other with that ferocity unique to people who have just met. And my friend revealed to us that he had cut that long woven friendship bracelet into tiny squares. He told us, "I have been weaving your love, your reflections, your messages, your truth into this bracelet all week. We are so woven together. We need one another to survive. Let this be a reminder of that truth." So he gave us each a small piece of that bracelet to keep. And I kept that friendship bracelet piece in my wallet, transferring it from wallet to wallet when I got a new wallet for almost a decade. It always reminded myself how woven I am with others, how it is okay to need people. So fast forward a little bit. What I will tell you about myself is that I am a Cancer. I am an Enneagram Type 2. I am a Myers-Briggs ENFJ. There's a pattern. No matter what personality typing system I have put myself through, the feedback I receive from any system is you are overly concerned with helping others. Giving has always been central to my conception of myself, my worldview, my vocational goals. And asking for help is not my strongest suit. But I hadn't given that much thought until a winter in which everything in my life changed. January of 2019, 2.5 years ago, or an entire lifetime, Matt asked me to share the reflection at Sanctuary. He asked me, as he often does, "What are you thinking about these days?" And I said, "Well, truthfully, I've been thinking a lot about the end of the world." Back then it was true, it remains true, a lot more so now, and differently. But I prepared my reflection, the band picked some amazing end times jams, we were ready for the apocalypse, I was ready. And then 2 days before I would give the reflection, my world ended, changed completely. My girlfriend of 2 years broke up with me, and overnight I found myself adrift, alone, heartbroken, without a place to live. I woke up the morning that I would give the reflection on Rose's couch, and I came to Sanctuary, and I shared about how just sometimes the world just ends. And my hands shook, because I was grappling with what had happened to my world just then. And boy, did I need a lot of help. Over the next few weeks, I didn't have a place to live, a kitchen to cook in, and I was trying to put the pieces of my heart back together and make sense of my life. And over, I had to do the thing that I dreaded most in the world, which was ask for help. I had to show up at inopportune moments, at inconvenient times, and say over and over, "Do you have a hot meal? Can I stay the night?" One night, I was sitting in my car, late, and I was holding my phone and I was staring at it, trying to work up the courage to call a friend and say, I need you. But it was hard and I didn't want to. And as I was trying to distract myself and put off this phone call I was dreading, I looked in my wallet and I found that piece of woven friendship bracelet. It is okay to need others. So I called her and I said, can you help me? And she said, come over. I'll make you dinner. Stay the night. But I wrestled with a strange sort of shame. I wasn't sure why I felt this way. It felt tremendously scary and hard to ask people I loved who loved me for help. It was humbling and it was risky. I was putting myself in their hands, and I was admitting that I wasn't okay on my own, which I really wanted to be. And when I was figuring out more about this feeling, I figured out a little bit more about the culture that I was raised in. White, middle-class America under late capitalism, it is good to be a martyr. It is prized to put oneself on the back burner and produce for the sake of capitalism. And even in my activist and spiritual lefty subculture, this same animal has emerged, just dressed differently, that says we should sacrifice for the greater good, bury our own needs, handle everything perfectly and alone, and if you can't do it, there must be something wrong with you. When I think about the interests that having me believe I have to do it alone serve, those interests are the state and its isolationist systems, not my community. I do better when my community does better. My community does better when I do better. We are stronger when we are woven together. Deeply woven, not just adjacent threads. I know this to be true, but putting it into practice is hard. That winter, when everything in my life changed, one Sunday, I went to All Souls Church in DC, and I heard a beautiful rendition of the song, I Need You to Survive. I had heard this song before, and when I heard it before, I thought, whoa, I don't know about that. That seems mighty risky. And when I heard it during this time in my life, it unlocked something in me. I need you to survive. I need you to survive. I started humming that song under my breath when I had to make phone calls I dreaded, simply asking people who loved me for help. And I learned that when I needed my people in a different way, a deeper way, that asking for help tied me to my people in a way that was incredibly liberatory. Not only did it deepen and enrich our relationships to one another, it was transformative of how we were in the world. It wasn't good enough for me to pretend that I didn't need help, to tell my friends who asked if I was okay that I wasn't. When I believe that I can do it on my own, alone on my own is where I am most easily divided and separated from others. Believing that I can do it alone upholds the forces of capitalism and white supremacy I so desperately want to disentangle in myself and in my culture. When we need one another, we build a different, deeper resiliency and interdependence with one another that is outside of those systems that are seeking to divide us. But my God, was it hard? That holy, holy weaving of my life with others was scary. To ask for help is a profound act of faith. It is a sticky and sweet vulnerability. To say to my people, I weave myself with you, my life, my time, my money, my well-being, my safety, my fate, I throw it in with yours. I need you to survive. That feels like a loss of control. Because in a way it is. When you are tied into the ship and it goes down, you cannot walk away. But we are strongest and we are safest when we are woven together. Something that I learned recently, which is my new way of saying I'm about to paraphrase a TikTok, is that many mammals are born with their most important instinct already available to them without being taught. Giraffes are born already able to run. Snakes are born already able to bite. And baby humans, their most important survival skill at birth is to be able to ask for help, to cry out for help. This is humans' most important survival mechanism, and it's been with us since day one. So for a long time, when I looked at that small piece of woven friendship bracelet in my wallet, I thought how radical it is to weave my life with others. Then about 2 weeks ago, I lost my wallet. When I realized it was gone, I panicked. Not because of my credit cards or my license or my library card, and yes, because of all those things too, but because that piece of woven friendship bracelet had been with me for 10 years, reminding me of this truth. I sat in my car with my head in my hands like other times in my life. But quickly, I called my friend and I said, hey, I need help. I lost my wallet. Please help me. I need you right now. I need money. And can I borrow your Charlie card? And can you pick up this dog that I'm dog sitting? And can you bring me a snack? And I'm really going through it right now. And when I set down the phone, I was flooded with such a joy. Because that piece of thread had stayed in my life while I learned how to do that thing that was one of the hardest things for me to do. And maybe it left my life when I no longer needed a daily reminder that it is okay for me to need the people that love me. Now, instead, I carry that truth woven into my being and into my life. And I am still learning it. It is still not easy for me. But my friends, I offer myself to you. My fate is bound up with yours. My lot is thrown in with yours in big and small ways. I need you to survive. May we be all just this woven. Blessed be. Amen. My friends, it is good to need one another. So in the spirit of my lost wallet, R.I.P., and a piece of woven fabric that taught me exactly what I needed to know, I ask you, is there a little help you could use right now? And can you ask for it? I need you to survive. I hope that you need me too. May we be just this woven. Amen.